This is the VOA Special English Agricultural Report. A new report said if women farmers had the same rights as men, more could be done to reduce world hunger. The report, Empowering Women in Agriculture, is from the Anti-Hunger Group, Rest for the World. Rest for the World says equal access to agricultural resources would have increased food security and economic growth. Faustine Wabwire is the group foreign assistance specialist. See women constitute half of agricultural labor force in not just Africa, but the developing countries as a whole. And when you think of Africa alone, she said, it's more than 60% of the total agricultural labor force being provided by women. The report says, in the most countries, women working in the rural areas are more likely than men to hold seasonal, part-time, or lower jobs. They also receive less pay for the same work. Ms. Wabwire said, women farmers often can get seeds, fertilizer, proper tools, ready, and especially land. She said, in most of Africa, about 80% of population is living in the rural areas, and they subsist on agriculture. Women make up 60% of the agricultural labor force, and yet they lack access to resources. She said, She says land is one good example. Less than 20% of all landholders are women. This is often because of legal as well as cultural reasons. She said, women who have lost their husbands may have no legal rights over their land. The only way to keep the land, she said, is to marry, said the brother of the dead husband. Restrictions like this, she says, continue to impede women's ability to fully enjoy their human rights. However, Ms. Wabwire said, women in agriculture are getting more attention these days. For example, Kenya's new constitution gives women the right to own land. But, she said, there is still a long way to go. Rest for the World is urging the United States government to increase development assistance, or at least not to decrease it. She said, Feed the Future, the U.S. government's agriculture aid program, is helping to alleviate a status of women. But Ms. Wabwire said more African governments must recognize the major role that women play in agriculture and elsewhere. Just how much could hunger be reduced if women had equal access to agricultural resources? The report estimates that hunger could be reduced for an extra 100 to 150 million people.